much. Feels like I'm trying to lose my voice again. Just talk too much. Really, good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for inviting me to mark the 180th anniversary of the NIBRIF. We come together at a moment of heartbreak and horror, a moment of deep sadness and grief, at a time when unadulterated evil has been unleashed on Israel and the Jewish people by Hamas, a terrorist group whose stated purpose is to destroy Israel and kill Jews. These attacks bear a stark resemblance to the atrocities carried out by ISIS. On Monday, I watched a video of a Hamas terrorist kidnapping an 85-year-old woman. I've just seen her name, Yafa Ador. I told my staff about watching that and the impact that it had on me. And I didn't know her name at the time, and I asked if they could find her name, because I think it's important that we know the names. We know the people. A speech I gave earlier this week, these are real people. They're not numbers. And so to know Yafa's name is truly important. I broke down in tears when I was watching her. I was watching her being taken away in a golf cart, surrounded by gunmen. And she had this steely, resolved look on her face. And I know many of you saw her as well because it was on TV several times. She just had this look of resolute acceptance of her faith. And I knew what I saw on her face was faith. That's what I saw on her face. And I felt deeply for her. And I felt deeply for her family. And while I know there's so many other people who've been taken, more than 150, she will be the person that I will be thinking about, as I think about everyone, but she could be any of our grandmothers, any of our mothers, our friend, our neighbor. So we pray for her. We pray for all of those still missing. We mourn together the victims of these attacks. And may their memories be a blessing. At this perilous moment, the Biden administration is standing shoulder to shoulder with Israel. We always have. We always have, and we always will. On Tuesday, I joined the president in the Situation Room to discuss the crisis. And following that meeting, the president spoke to Prime Minister Netanyahu and then to the American people about our response. President Biden made clear that we're surging additional military assistance to Israel, including ammunition, interceptors to replenish the Iron Dome. And we will continue to consult with and advise the Israeli counterparts on hostage recovery efforts. The bottom line is this. We roundly condemn Hamas's barbaric actions. We fully support Israel's right to self-defense as terrorists accountable for these attacks and takes necessary and proportionate action. And we will continue to work to combat the scourge of anti-Semitism, which is only growing. It's growing in the United States. It's growing around the world. In all of this work, we're looking to the NIBRIF for leadership and for partnership. You have been on the front lines of this work for 180 years. You look much younger. And while the NIBRIF may have started in New York, Lower East Side, your impact is now global. You've become a voice of the Jewish community. Your members are standing up for Israel, combating anti-Semitism and Holocaust denial. And your organization is advancing human rights and providing emergency relief to those who need it most. And I'm proud of the work we undertake with you at the United Nations, as we work together to uphold the principles of the UN Charter and the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. And even though more and more countries are seeking ties with Israel through the Abraham Accords and other normalization agreements, so many countries are still rubber stamping one-sided biased resolutions at the United Nations. And we're trying to shift that pattern, but we still have more work to do. Too many countries continue to unfairly target and disparage Israel. But the United States is pushing back on false and dangerous narratives, and I'm pleased to say we're often doing so alongside an expanded coalition of countries who share our concerns. As you know, much better than I do, here's where I'm trying my language skills. There's a concept in Judaism known as tikkun olam. Tikkun olam. This is about repairing the world and leaving things just a bit better off, just a little bit better off. These ideas have always driven my work, because sometimes you can't take big steps. In order to take a big step, you have to take a small step, and a second small step, and a third small step, until you've taken a big step. They are what drive, these ideas are what drive this administration, and I know they drive all of you here in this room. Friends, our partnership has never been more vibrant than it is today. Let us continue to work together to advance peace, to leave the world just a little bit, just a tiny bit better off. Israel.